Tomorrow is National Signing Day, I guess. It's so much different than what it used to be. We bring in Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com. Mike, does any part of you miss the old signing days where, you had the bash, you had everybody, on pins and needles with a few of those commitments that were coming down late? Any nostalgia going on there for you at all?
Not really. I kind of like the December period, but I will say I was asked that question Monday on another show, and I did like some of the early bashes, and I particularly liked the original, the first one that was at the field house under DiNardo.
Yeah, I remember that one. The whole the Travis Minor phone call, or the non Travis Minor phone call.
Yeah, the Thomas Pittman bag of money cartoon on the overhead projector.
I do remember that too. And you know what else I remember about that, Mike, was they showed the highlight video of the class, and they showed probably 5 or 6 plays from every player, and the video ran for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. But for most people, this is pre-internet, and this was the first time any people had seen these names that you talked about for months and months and months. And there was a lot of, oh wow, that guy looks like that, oh wow, this guy's doing this. That's what I remember, because back then you couldn't just pull up YouTube and catch
Oh yeah, that's true. We would spend most of our off season. We would start in December begging high school coaches to send us DVDs. Well, even if you got DVDs, at the time YouTube didn't exist. That's how Mark Cuban made his money. I forget the name of the platform that he sold, but that thing was ridiculously expensive, and the quality was awful. So you wouldn't upload any of the DVDs and highlight videos that you got from coaches on particular players. So that was a part of it that made it a draw. And then certainly, I guess a decade and a half later, Facebook and Twitter arrived, and it really, and then also too, the LSU official website originally was handled by a third party, and then that became totally in-house, and they got their act together, and it is what it is today. So everything changed, all that, but I kind of still think that maybe there's room for some sort of celebration to be had somewhere, but I know it was an expensive undertaking as well.
All right, what are you expecting tomorrow?
It doesn't look like much of anything. We've been reaching out. Is there anything could happen? Anything that we're not seeing? I mean, we're all looking at the defensive tackle from Chicago, but I don't think that's LSU, Wisconsin, or Michigan. So I think probably you're taking it to the house, and I like the fact that they're going to have these whatever numbers are going to be, and then don't forget you can still have some of the current roster hit the portal in May. So whatever number you think they have to give to get to 85 by August, that number can increase depending on what current LSU players get into the portal after they see what their lot is after spring.
So if you're looking at the LSU roster right now and you're thinking about potential ads down the road and potential defections, if there are guys on this team that will transfer out after the spring semester, what are your biggest areas of concern?
Well, I mean, look, at this point, without knowing what any injuries would be in spring, I mean, if there's a great center that ends up getting in the portal or a great linebacker, you tend to like the numbers at corner, but do you go through spring and feel like, maybe you don't have what you have as far as too deep? And is there maybe a really big-time marquee defensive tackle that you can get late? Maybe a stellar tackle. I mean, to me, it's just if there's somebody there that you think is better than what you got, and you got the numbers to give, well, you go for it.
What in the conference should we be looking at tomorrow? What, even if LSU's not involved with it, what top players are going to make an announcement tomorrow that there's some legitimate suspense to it, if any?
Yeah, I haven't really studied what Alabama and Georgia and those guys got going. I tend to think most of them are kind of like LSU, where they pretty much filled up, but there's some stragglers out there. But I think it is what it is for LSU right now, though.
Yeah, they've filled it, pretty well. When you sign 25, high school kids, and you got 11 more out of the transfer portal, most of the hay is in the barn. And there may be some tweaks to this roster, but I don't know if there's a whole lot more coming. One more thing, Mike. I did see where they were looking for tryouts on the campus, which is not unusual. They've done that before. What I did notice was that to go and try out, you have to have your morning schedule cleared. You're going to practice in spring in the morning. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, I noticed that you had to have all your be cleared out by 10:30.
Yeah, you had to be able to practice in the morning. So I took that, and maybe I'm wrong. I took that to mean that they're going to do some of their spring workouts, or maybe even most of them, in the morning. So that'll be a little bit different.
Well, I'll enjoy that. We won't be fighting 5 o'clock traffic to get out there, and I'm assuming we're going to have the same access we had last spring, which was the best we've ever had. And of course, we start getting rounds of position coaches and coordinators for interviews like we got as well. So that's every spring we go into it saying it's going to be an interesting spring, or I can't wait to see this position. There's a whole lot that's going to be very interesting to cover, and I can't wait to get out there. I'm assuming the schedule is going to be similar to last year. I bet the date's probably going to be pretty darn close, starting at the end of March and a spring game last weekend or so of April. And but man, there's a whole lot to see, and new numbers and new faces and all the midterm enrollees. There's going to be a lot of position battles and things to see.
Somebody's got to go out there and count quarterback reps. I mean,
you're not really counting them now, are you?
I don't know. I don't think they ever.
It's a lot easier to count.
I don't think the fans ever stop counting quarterback reps.
Well, Ricky Collins is going to get a lot better reps than what Walker got last year, because there was 4 and now there's 3.
Right. So, well, he'll be able to take advantage of that. Mike, appreciate it. We'll catch up with you when spring gets going.